y'all, welcome back to another one of my reading journal videos. Today I'm going to be working on my yearly stats page and also my Trope Tracker page. Trope Tracker is a new page for me. We'll see if I like doing that. Here I'm first working on the yearly overview page. So this is a page that will kind of track for each month, how many books I read, how many pages, how many hours I listened to audiobooks, whether I read it in ebook, physical book, or audiobook format. All of that is going in onto this page instead of being tracked individually on the monthly pages, which is what I did last year. So you can see I've made myself a little table here. I had thought about stamping this stuff in there, but then I was like, I think I'm just going to write it. So I've got months, books read, pages read, hours listened, and then I've got a little book icon for physical books, a little, Kindle icon for ebooks, and headphones for audiobooks. And now I'm writing my months in. And that term, measure twice, cut once, I counted this out, I feel like so many times when I was planning it before I even put that tape on the top, and still I managed to not leave enough room for all the months. So I dealt with it as best I could and just continued to the bottom of the page. Not ideal, but it's fine. It was better to me to do that than to just completely cover up the whole page or something like that. So that is what I did. You just roll with it. That is my favorite glue stick. I get it from Jet Pens. It's called Glue, Gloo. And then these, of course, are stickers from Sterling Ink because they're just so pretty, and they're like a washi tape material. So when you stick them down, they just sort of melt into the page. It's like they were always there, like they're not a sticker. So, so this page is done. My trope spotting logbook, that's what I'm calling this page. It's also going to be pretty simple. So I got a little washi at the bottom. I don't know where I got that washi. The one on the year in review page I do know is from Archer and Olive, from one of the subscription boxes. The one on the trope spotting page is probably from Hobby Lobby, if I had to guess. So anyway, I made myself a swatch book for various markers and whatnot, and it comes in really handy when you're trying to match up colors. So I just held it up to my washi to find one of these acrylic paint markers that closely matches. So love these markers, by the way. Got them on Amazon. So yeah, that's. I also, here I'm using a Tombow to just color every other line, just so it just is easier to keep track of where you are. Normally I would go all the way across, but I'm going to use a dot marker to make dots on the other side to track the how many books in that trope that I've read. So I filled in a few tropes here: fated mates, enemies to lovers, one bed, fake relationship, grumpy sunshine, shadow daddy, and I think I write found family, yeah. So there's my dot marker that I'm going to use, and I like to take a pencil if I'm using a specific color and just write it down there, just so later I'm not like, what color was I going to use? But anyway, if you know of any more tropes you think I should put on my list, let me know. I mostly read romance and fantasy romance, of course, but I occasionally do branch out, but not that often, and I don't really care. I know that sounds terrible. Some people like to challenge themselves to read different genres. I don't want to, so there we go. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.